Today is going to be a very straightforward video on how to use your WeCreat Lumos Flex, how to get it set up. Same thing with the original Lumos. The only thing different here is this has a 15-watt fiber laser in it. A lot of people are asking, how do I get access to the fiber laser when I just set this up? I already own the original Lumos and this is completely different. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's super easy. It's just one thing that you have to do differently. And then anybody who's brand new, I'm going to walk you through step by step, start to finish, so you can get your first print going, especially with metals. Since this one's dealing with fiber, we're going to go straight with fiber here. So with that said, I'm going to assume you unboxed it. It looks like this. You turned it on for the very first time with the switch that is on this side on the back, and you're ready to set it up. So for the setup, you need to use this cable that you can see running here that goes to my computer on the other side of my Ultra here. And you will have to connect it with USB on a computer for first setup. It won't connect through Wi-Fi, so just plug it in. With that said, we're jumping over to the computer now. You're going to go to WeCreate.com/pages/software, or you go to their main website and click software at the top of the screen, and you're going to click download. That'll bring you to this site right here, and you have to download version 3.0.5. So if you're a previous owner and you have an old version, that old version will not show the fiber laser. I repeat one more time, it will not show the fiber laser. You have to download 3.0.5. So just hit download, install it to your computer like a normal program that you probably installed hundreds of times before, and then you'll launch the WeCreate software. It'll look like this. It'll probably be on this main page for the first launch here, and then you'll just click New Project. What that'll do is it'll launch a tab that looks like this here, and you have your new project window open. Now that you have your printer connected to USB, if it doesn't show up right here already automatically, it may show up offline. You'll click on USB right there. It'll say activate your membership. You can either activate or hit cancel. I'm going to just hit cancel. It will then connect and it should show a green dot here. And I know what you're thinking, it's just showing a blank page here, it's not showing anything. Well, there's a reason for that. There's two reasons. The first one is if we go back to the machine here, you see this little tab here that's hanging. Whenever you get your unit, it has this plastic cap on it. You have to remove this plastic cap, and that is blocking the camera. It's also blocking these two dots here. Hopefully you can see that on my hand. But those two dots are your focusing dots. So you're going to now place in your coin that you want to engrave. So we're going to use this coin and we're going to focus on fiber. And on the right hand side of the machine is this dial that you can make the machine go up and down, and you're going to make those two dots touch. And as they're touching, that means it's in focus. You can also use the flat plate or the cutting plate. I just prefer to use the cutting plate at all times just so it doesn't mark up my base here if I accidentally make a mistake. So now that we have it in focus, we're going to come back to the software, and what you need to do is click refresh right here. It's going to tell you, is it in focus? And we're going to say, yes, it's in focus. I just put it in focus as I showed you. And then it's going to take a picture of what's on there, and in this case, it's going to be the coin. And then now you can go ahead and you can put text or shapes, whatever you want on the left-hand side here. So let's say you want a regular text. You can click on that and then click in here. And you can make this regular text like a fill engrave over here and make it as big or small as you want and drop it on that coin. And you can actually engrave it by typing in your settings. So this is where it's a little bit different. For the fiber laser, you have to make sure fiber is selected here. If you want the diode laser, that's this blue laser, it'll have different settings here. So you may be familiar with the diode laser. If you're not, you can find hundreds of resources of settings and how diode lasers work. But the fiber laser is what we're going to focus on mainly for this video here, because it works a little bit different. You still have power and speed, but you have this thing called frequency now. So frequency, the lowest frequency this can go, I believe, is 30. So you want to think of this as sandpaper. The lower the grit, the rougher it is. The higher the grit, the smoother it is. So if you want to dig deeper, you're going to go down to 30. If you want to go higher, you'll go up from there, and for like a clean pass. And a clean pass is just a secondary pass that goes over those deeper engravings to kind of clean it up. and you'll see that here in relief mode. But this is the flat layer mode. So right here where it says laser flat, you'll have these different options here. These 6 different options. Laser flat is just for like surface level marking. You will be able to get like a deeper engraving with this still, but you may have to go over a few different passes. If you click on it, you will have to refresh that camera each time. So keep that in mind whenever you switch through the different settings. You will have to refresh that camera each time. So like I said, this is going to be mainly surface level. A lot of people will want really deep engravings, and those do take some time for like depth maps engravings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a depth map. So we're going to click up here on laser flat, and we're going to click on relief engraving. This is what a lot of people want to know about. We're going to click on refresh. That's going to refresh the image here. And after it refreshes it, we're going to import our depth map image. So in this case, we're going to do this wolf emblem here. And we're going to click OK. It's going to scale to fit because it's too big for the size of the screen here. We're going to shrink this down to the size of the coin. And these do take quite a bit of time. And when I say quite a bit of a time, it will take several hours in some situations, depending on your settings here. So you have 2 different settings here. You have concave or convex. Most of the time you'll use this second one here. That way you get kind of like a 3D look versus it caving into the actual coin itself. And then you can set all of your different settings. So this is where, like I said, that frequency comes into play. You're also going to have something called Z-axis on descent. And what that does is every layer, it's going to move down like 0.01 inches. So it's going to slowly etch its way down depending on how many layers you set up here. So in this case, I did this coin at 200 layers. The only way to get a perfect engraving is 256 layers because there's that many shades of gray. And that's essentially what the laser is reading, is those different shades of gray as it etches down. So you can set this at 256 if you want, but like I said, the higher number of layers you go, the longer this engrave is going to take, and it can take several hours. This one took several hours as well. So if you want custom settings, you can go to the internet and go to our Facebook page, the actual WeCreat Lumos Flex settings group here, and I have settings for the coin that I used here. Here's all the different layers and settings that I use. As you can see, I used a frequency of 30, and you have all of these different options here. Now, what I could have done differently is clean passes as well. So you have this cleaning layer here. You can turn that on, and then you get a whole nother set of settings that you can do here. And this is where you would make that frequency higher, so like 48 or even higher than that. So it goes by quicker and does a cleaner pass than like a darker engraving there. So you have all sorts of different settings. That's pretty much how you get started with the actual embossing or the engraving of the fiber laser. This was the biggest question on what people were running into, is how to use the fiber, where to get it set up from. And like I said, you do need that latest version of the operating system that I showed you at the start, that 3.0.5. And then this is how you use the fiber laser. Once you're ready, you'll just click start, and then it will start your engraving, and you'll be good to go. Like I said, this will take some time for it to engrave on metal. The diode laser is super fast. The fiber laser itself is super fast for surface level engravings, but just keep that in mind. If you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. I know I went kind of quick, but I wanted to be as to the point on focusing on the fiber side here and getting your unit ready for setup here. Other than that, we'll catch you guys in the next one.